What up, y'all? This is your boy, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello, and you're listening to the Entertainment Report for Friday, March 27th, 2015. Delivering some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to the show anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to the page. Zayn Malik has opened up about his split with One Direction, which shocked fans around the world earlier this week. But there's good news. He's not done with music. In an interview published in Friday's edition of UK publication The Sun, Malik said his immediate plans are, quote, to write and relax and chill. While fans like devastated Boston Mayor Marty Walsh are having a hard time grasping a One Direction without Malik, he says, quote, he's never felt more in control in his life and is already working on new music with producer Naughty Boy. According to The Sun, he's experimenting new sounds, including rapping. Malik said in an interview, I feel like I'm doing what's right and right by myself and right by the boys, so I feel good, in which he also denies tensions between him and the other four members of the chart-topping boy band. He said, my band has been very supportive, they've been really cool about it, and they understand that, it's not real to me anymore. They still want to do it for a while, so they're going to carry on doing what they want to do. And I think they're going to do okay for a while. I think they're going to be cool. The fans, Malik says, are what is keeping him going despite being unhappy in the group. Malik says, I did try to do something that I wasn't happy doing for a while for the sake of maybe other people's happiness, and that was mainly the fans. And I have only ever tried to do it for the fans, and it was only ever for them. And basically, I'm only upset. I feel like I may have let them down in some sort of way. That's the main thing that I don't want to happen. For those hoping Malik will give One Direction one more shot in the future, here's what he had to say. I don't think I can really answer that really, but I don't know. Drea Matteo, the star of HBO's The Sopranos and the recently wrapped FX biker series Son of Anarchy, is among those who lost their homes in an explosion and subsequent fire that destroyed her New York City building on Thursday. Drea Matteo tweeted the news on Thursday, first noting that emergency responders were attempting to extinguish the flames caused by the explosion. The actress wrote, posting a picture of the firefighters at work. NYC's fires trying to put out the flames to mine and many other apartments. Speechless. Shortly thereafter, Matteo wrote, a hole where my NYC home of the last 22 years once stood. RIP 123rd 2nd Avenue. The actress included another picture of her building entirely destroyed by the fire. The explosion left 4 in critical condition and more than a dozen others injured, ABC News reports. New York Mayor Bill de Blasio said that the early evidence suggests a gas-related explosion, adding that the explosion, quote, appeared to have been caused by plumbing and gas work that occurred in 121st 2nd Avenue, which is next door to De Matteo's building. 4 buildings were affected by the explosion and fire, with 2 of the structures partly collapsing. De Matteo was recently cast in ABC's Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. as Carla Faye Gideon, a gifted individual who has a bone to pick with director counselors, played by Greg Clark, Noble Defense Organization, S.H.I.E.L.D. Joe and Anthony Russo, the Marvel Universe's sibling director duo, have opened Getaway Productions at Sony Pictures, the Wrap has learned. The brothers named former Chernin Entertainment executive Mike Larocca as president. The Russos are weeks away from principal photography on Captain America: Civil War. Deadpool is going to be a serious superhero movie that takes itself very seriously, judging by the first official photo shared by star Ryan Reynolds. The titular Marvel superhero has been seen lounging in front of a romantic roaring fire, wearing the suit that, according to Reynolds, will be the official costume used in the film. Reynolds captioned the photo, with great power comes great irresponsibility. He later added, no bears were harmed in the making of this photo, though many bears likely turn on, and also shared the original photo of Burt Reynolds draped across a bearskin rug that serves as the inspiration for his Deadpool photo shoot. Tim Miller is directing the comic book movie, which finds Reynolds playing an assassin who undergoes a procedure to cure his cancer that leaves him twisted, scarred, and superpowered, and glib, very, very glib. Reynolds first played the assassin nicknamed the Merc Without a Mouth in X-Men's Origins Wolverine. Morena Barcarin, T.J. Miller, and Gina Carano will co-star in the film, which is now shooting for a February 12, 2016 release. NBC has ordered 8 episodes of Ellen DeGeneres' new docuseries First Dates based on the British format. The hour-long show will follow 8 couples who meet for the first time and find out, along with the audience, whether they have enough chemistry for a second date. The observational documentary series will begin production in July in Chicago. No premiere date is set. First Dates is executive produced by Pam Healy and Josh Hessling from Shed Media, DeGeneres and Jeff Kleeman for A Very Good Production, and Tim Carter for 2020. Anthony Dominici also serves as executive producer. First Dates follows the DeGeneres-produced One Big Happy at NBC, extending her long relationship with the network. The talk show host also has a pilot consideration at NBC, but that has rolled into the next season. The independent review of Rolling Stone's A Rape on Campus story will be long and damning to the magazine. Politico's Dylan Byers reports that the analysis, written by Columbia journalist review Steve Cole, is longer than the original 9,000-word story written by Sabrina Rubin Elderly. It will also provide, quote, a blunt indictment on Rolling Stone's reporting and its violation of journalism ethics, according to Byers. On Sunday, Rolling Stone manager-editor Will Dana said the review will be published in a few weeks. On Monday, Charlottesville police announced the suspension of their investigation into the alleged 2012 rape at the University of Virginia fraternity party, on which the story was based, having found no evidence it occurred. Police Chief Timothy Longo told reporters, I can't prove that something didn't happen, and there may become a point in time in which this survivor or this complaining party or someone else may come forward with some information that might help us move this investigation further. The police department interviewed Elderly, who they claim, quote, cooperated as best as she could be, and who provided them with unpublished information. The Film Society of Lincoln Center will honor the memory of Oscar nominee and Emmy Award-winning director Bruce Sinofsky with the memorial service, his longtime filming partner Joe Berlinger announced on Friday. Sinofsky, a celebrated documentarian and director, passed away in February from complications brought on by diabetes. He first came to prominence in 1996 when he co-directed Paradise Lost, The Child Murders at Robin Hood Hills, with Berlinger. The film told the story of the West Memphis Three, teenage boys who were convicted in the brutal murders of 3 young boys. The film was also followed by 2 sequels, the last of which was nominated for an Academy Award in 2012 for Best Documentary Feature. Sinofsky also co-directed with Berlinger the celebrated 2004 documentary Some Kind of Monster, which followed the heavy metal band Metallica as they prepared to release the album Saint Anger. The memorial service will be held at the Walter Reed Theater in New York at 2 p.m. on May 5th. The event is being hosted by a committee of friends and colleagues coordinated by Berlinger. Director Kevin Smith has convinced original Mallrats lead Jeremy London to return for the sequel, and has just 4 more actors from the 1995 comedy to go until he completes the cast. Smith wrote in his Facebook page on Friday morning, T.S. Quint will be there. Jeremy London is going back to the mall, y'all. 8 down, 4 to go, collect them all. Smith's announcement comes on the heels of the news that Jason Lee, a regular in Smith's View SQ movie universe, will return to play Quint's best friend, Brody Bruce. Ethan Suplee, Shannon Doherty, Jason Mewes, Michael Rooker, and even Stan Lee will be returning as well. Could Ben Affleck, who is busier than ever, be next? Smith revealed plans for the sequel earlier this month during an appearance on Tucson's morning show Rock 102 Mornings with Samonte and Carolina. He said, it's half a script right now and we're pulling our loot together. We've come up until the beginning of 2016. By the time we get to May 2016, we're going to be shooting. Smith, who most recently wrote and directed Horror Tusk, has not revealed any plot details but gave a snippet of what to expect in another Facebook update. After the events of Mallrats, Brody Bruce and his longtime love, Renee, were married. The comic book loving proprietor of Brody Bruce's secret stash insisted on naming their only child Banner Bruce. Smith wrote with accompanying hashtag RatsFacts. Empire star Taraji P. Henson's claim that her son was racially profiled during a traffic stop in Glendale, California last year is in question after police released a dash cam video of the October 18th incident. In an edited version of the 40-minute video obtained by the Los Angeles Times, Marcel Henson is shown running a red light at a crosswalk where a pedestrian is attempting to cross. He is then pulled over for that offense. Henson admitted to the officer that he had marijuana in the car, and the officer thanked Henson for his honesty. The officer said, "I appreciate you being honest with me about the weed. I do appreciate that because I do smell weed." After checking Henson's ID, the officer asked the 20-year-old to step out of the car and wait on the sidewalk, and Henson complies without arguing. It would appear that the officer was lenient with Henson, giving the man a citation for possession of marijuana, but letting him go for running the yellow light. The officer said, "I'm going to give you a citation for the marijuana. Listen, I'm not going to give you a citation for running that yellow because that'll actually prove a moving violation on your driver's license. You're going to have to do traffic school and all that stuff. So I'm helping you out by not giving you a violation on that. All I'm going to do is take the weed." The officer may have also given Henson a warning for having smoked marijuana within the last 2 hours. It is unclear from the video, and gave him a warning for possessing Ritalin. The officer warned, "If you have Ritalin on you and you're not supposed to, don't do it." He added, "That's a big violation. I wouldn't do that to you." Henson may have a prescription for the pot, in which case he can present the appropriate documentations in court and have the citation lifted. Taraji P. Henson told a magazine in February that she planned to transfer her son to Howard University after he experienced racial profiling while visiting schools in Southern California. Henson told Uptown magazine he was in Glendale, California, and did exactly everything the cop told him to do, including letting them illegally search his car. She added it was bogus because they didn't give him the ticket for what he was pulled over for. In the video, the officer asked Marcel Henson to sign an admission of guilt for a lesser offense similar to failure to stop at a stop sign, which avoids the harsher penalties of points on his license and mandatory traffic school that a moving violation would carry. Taraji P. Henson also claimed that her son was profiled at USC, which the school was called deeply disturbing. Next Wednesday, producers of David O. Russell's 2013 film American Hustle will attempt to nuke a lawsuit brought by Paul Brodier, an expert in the biological effects of electromagnetic fields. The legal action filed in Los Angeles Superior Court has prompted what the plaintiff has termed the Ditzy defense. Brodier has made his $1 million libel claim last October against Columbia Pictures, Atlas Entertainment, and Annapurna Pictures over a comment from Jennifer Lawrence's character Rosalind in the film. In a scene, Rosalind tells her husband, played by Christian Bale, that microwaves that take the nutrition out of food. After Bale's character responds, "That's bullshit," Rosalind shows him a magazine that says, "It's not bullshit. I read it in an article, look, by Paul Brodier." Brodier happens to be a real-life science writer who, around the time when the movie is set, was given interviews about the safety and dangers of microwaves. In 1978, for instance, when People magazine asked him if there was any danger in eating food cooked by microwaves, Brodier answered, "None that is known." Brodier asserts he's been harmed by being named as a source of a scarce mongering. Brodier's lawyer, Leon Friedman, wrote in a March 16th demo, "If an expert in evolution such as Stephen Jay Gould was misquoted as saying that he now believes that God created the world 6,000 years ago, his reputation as a scientist would be seriously damaged. If a noted astronomer such as Carl Sagan was misquoted as saying that now he believes that the sun revolved around the earth, that would certainly undermine his reputation as well. The same is true here." In reaction to the lawsuit, the production companies have filed a motion to strike based on California's anti-SLAPP law, which is meant to deter frivolous litigation concerning First Amendment rights. The judge's forthcoming analysis will depend on two factors. First, the judge will consider whether the activity Brodier named as harmful furthers the producer's free speech on a matter of public interest. If not, the lawsuit proceeds. Motion pictures like American Hustle are unquestionably expressive speech, so that the judge will likely focus whether there was an issue of public interest implicated. The film loosely depicts the FBI's late 70s, early 80s app scam sting operation, which resulted in convictions of prominent politicians and gained media focus. Get Hard, the R-rated comedy starring Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart, laughed its way to $1.8 million at the box office at late shows Thursday night. The Warner Brothers release is expected to take in around $35 million and top the weekend, but DreamWorks' animation family film Home, which brought in a strong $650,000 Thursday night, shouldn't be far behind. It was a promising start for both of the front runners. The Get Hard numbers is better than the $1.1 million that Ride Along, which paired Hart with Ice Cube in another buddy movie, managed on Thursday before going on to a $41 million debut last January. And if it beats the $800,000 that Hart's The Wedding Ringer scored on its way to a $20.6 million debut 2 months ago. The Thursday night haul for Home topped the $375,000 taken by Reel Number 2 and $200,000 for The Croods, two other animated films distributed by Fox, as the DWA film is. Home will be in a market high 3,708 theaters by Friday, with Get Hard screening at 3,175 theaters. It follows a well-reviewed teen horror film, is expanded into the 1,218 theaters for Radius TWC. Also debuting is Serena, an R-rated drama starring Jennifer Lawrence and Bradley Cooper that Magnolia Pictures is rolling out on a modest 58 screens. And finally, this is this week's Hot 100 Billboard charts for the week of March 23rd. Number 10, GDFR by Flo Rida featuring Sage, The Gemini, and Look As. Number 9, Time of Our Lives by Pitbull and Neo. Number 8, Trap Queen by Fetty Wap. Number 7, Style by Taylor Swift. Number 6, Earn It from the 50 Shades of Grey soundtrack by The Weeknd. Number 5, 4 or 5 Seconds by Rihanna featuring Kanye West and Paul McCartney. Number 4, Love Me Like You Do by Ellie Goulding. Number 3, Think Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. Number 2, Sugar by Maroon 5. And number 1, still, Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson featuring Bruno Mars. And as your entertainment report for Friday, March 27, 2015, I'm your host, Mr. Downtown Ray Mello. I'll be back on Monday to deliver some of the major stories and trends going on in the world of entertainment and beyond. You can follow the show on Facebook or on Twitter, facebook.com/The Entertainment Report with Ray Mello, that's RayMelo, or on Twitter at The Enter Report. You can listen to this episode or any previous episodes of The Entertainment Report anytime you want on iHeartRadio. Just search for The Entertainment Report, and it'll take you to our page. Have a great weekend, everybody. I will see you on Monday. Bye.